Hi everyone, I'm Gabriel from PandaAGI, and in this video I'm going to show you how to start working with PandaAGI. I can share a simple app that has been built. You can also find in the open source library. So this is an app, a chatbot that you can start building using PandaAGI. So you can ask any question here and you will get your analysis done. You can support data analysis, landing pages, research reports, dashboard design, and stuff like that. So I can ask, for example, can you create a nice landing page showing cute panda in it. And as you will see, it will start the agentic flow. So it will do a very iterative process, combining multiple steps until it will get with the final result done. And there it is. It says that the website has been generated. You can see all the events that has been streamed to the front end. So, for example, first generated the plan, then a cute panda, then indexed HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Then it's spinned up the server, and then it's up and running. So we can check it out. And here it is. So that's the website we asked for. It's a cute panda, and you can explore further. So let's go back to our notebook and let's get started. So here it is. This is our notebook. And from now on, I will be sharing a little bit how it works under the hood. So PandaAGI is an SDK to build Manus-like intelligence agents, for example, in a way that we take care of the complexity, and what you have to do is just align it for your specific use case. But let's not waste more time and let's get started. The first thing you need to do is to install PandaAGI. Is as easy as this. It will be installing the version. The current version is 0.5.0, but it will probably be higher by the time you look at this video. And now that the SDK is installed, it's time to configure our API key. We can get one from the PandaAGI website, which is this one. So if you go here, you will be asked to sign in with GitHub. And once you are signed in, you will be redirected to this dashboard where you can, see your credits left, and you can, copy an API key, which you can then paste in here. Once this is done, you can instantiate an environment. We currently support two kind of environments: the local environment, which is the fastest one, but runs in our local environment, so it's a little bit dangerous and definitely not for production grade applications. And then the Dockerized environment, which is recommended for production, because all the code that will be generated and executed will be executed within the Docker container. So for the sake of this tutorial, we'll be using the local env with this specific folder. So if this does not exist, it will be created. So if we run this, we can now instantiate an agent, and we pass the environment like this. So our agent will use this environment to, gather information, create files, execute shell commands, and so on and so forth. So let's start from a very basic example, agent.run. So basically, if we want to ask this query to PandaAGI, we just do agent.run. Let's not forget to await. And you will see that we get something like this. So the response will be a agent response object, which has a couple of params. One is events, one is the output. And so in this case, there are 3 events, and the output, the final output, which is at the end of the day, the response is, "I'm doing well, thank you. How can I assist you today?" So we can easily print this, but we can also go here and just print response.output, and it will just print this one, of course. If we want to dive a little bit further into this, we can do a very simple for loop where we can see all the events that have been fired. So this one is listening for events, and at the very end, declaring this variable. So here are the events which we can ask, you can get with the response.events. And the first event that has been streamed is a agent connection success event. So we get this kind of event. At this time, the agent has successfully connected with WebSocket online. Then the orchestrator sent us an event, user notification event. So basically, it was notifying us of something, which is I'm doing well, thank you. And then finally, it says, okay, the task has been completed. I'm done. I'm waiting for more. This is what we can do asynchronously, or I mean, synchronously after we have completed this. But what we can do is also listen for the events as they are streamed. So in this case, we need to use event handlers. Uh, Here's a very simple example of an event handler. Basically, an event handler is a class extending a base handler with a process method. The process method is the one that is invoked every time an event is being streamed to the agent. So in this case, we will be receiving a lot of different kind of events. And what we do is we check whether there are instances of specific event types like this, and we can then run things accordingly. So in this case, if the agent connection success event is triggered, we will be printing this. If a user notification is triggered, we will be printing this. And when the task is completed, we'll be just say, hey, task completed. And that's the way this very simple handler works. As an alternative, if an event that is not between these ones is fired, will be showing this message that we don't know which event is this. So to get started using event handlers, we need to instantiate an agent, passing again the environment if we want, and the event handlers as an array. So it's an array of event handlers, and these event handlers will be executed one by one. So the first event handler runs first, then the second one, and so on and so forth. So every time we receive an event, it will process from here, then it will process from the second event handler, and so on and so forth. And in this case, for example, given that we have this event handler, if we say hello there to the agent, you will see that it will stream agent is now connected, because it will first of all fire an event of this type. Then we will say agent said, hello, how can I assist you today? Because we will be firing one event of this type. And then finally, we will receive a task completed event, which is this one. Of course, this is the order, but it doesn't have to happen in this order. It's the orchestrator that decides which event to fire at any given time. So this is now done, and there are for convenience, we also offer a logs handler, which is at the end of the day an event handler that you can pass, and it already styles all the events that you are receiving in a very nice way, so you can debug and you can understand what's going on under the hood. Of course, this is just printing messages, so nothing is going to happen in the business logic of your app, but it's very useful and convenient for you because you can really see everything the agent is doing under the hood. So in this case, it connected, it shown us this message, and then it completed the task. Similarly, we can pass multiple events. So in this case, we're passing the logs event, the logs handler, and the my first custom handler. And as you can see, it will first, every time there is an event, it will first run the event in the logs handler, and then the process in the my first custom handler, and so on and so forth, depending on how many handlers you pass. So this is the logs handler, and this is the custom handler. This is again the logs handler, and this is the custom one, and so on and so forth. But let's jump to the most exciting part, which is working with file system. This I have already anticipated a little bit, and this is probably the most exciting thing the agent can do. So here in Google Colab, by default, we have a sample data folder, okay, which is already pre-filled with some data. So in this case, for the sake of simplicity, we will just be using local env with this folder, as an environment. We just pass it to the agent together with the event handlers if we want, and then we ask what are the latitude and longitude of the California housing with the highest median income. So what he will be doing is this. So he will connect, he will send a message. I'll help you to find the latitude and longitude of the California housing, and so on and so forth. Then you can see that it starts working. So he will read this file, this one, which by the way we can see here. So it's this one is the train one, which is now loading, and there it is. So you will read this one, but basically it will generate the script. It will then run the script. There it is. Here's the script. So you can check it out if you want to investigate. It will run the script. It will collect all the information gathered by running the script, and then it will it will be writing another file based on the findings, which is this report, that is this one, and then it will answer. Based on my analysis, I found the location with the highest median income, and it's this one, and then it says a lot of different things, and it sends us the attachment. The attachment is a variable that we can then explore, and is this one, is this MD file, which is a report, and so here it is. We can get a very detailed analysis of the question we just asked for. And then, as always, it will say task completed successfully. And we also get finally the res object that is printed by default by Colab. So in this case is agent response. We have 8 events. The output is the final agent message that we receive. And yeah, that's pretty much how this works. The other exciting part is the web connection. In fact, this agent by design has access to the internet, to the web. Okay, to make it possible, we are using the Tavily API. You can go on this website and create your own API. Then you just need to declare like this. Of course, replace the my API key with the right one, and then you are just gonna instantiate a new agent and ask a research related question, something that can only be found on the internet. So, for example, how could Trump tariffs impact the German economy? And then you just run. You will see that it will start very, very detailed analysis. So in this case, it connects. It says, I'll help you analyzing the potential impact, and then it starts searching. So it will search with this query. Then it will find some results, 10 results in this case. It will navigate to this URL. Something doesn't work because it gets a status 500, so it keeps navigating. In this case, it succeeds, so it now has understanding of this context, and it keeps navigating over and over and finding results. Then it searches for something more based on the initial results, and it finds 8 more results. It analyzes further information, then runs other searches. It's like a deep research that is tailored for your specific behaviors. And it keeps searching for information, analyzing URLs, and then at the very end, it will create a report, an MD report, and it will provide a very detailed answer. So I've completed a comprehensive analysis of how Trump tariffs could impact the German economy, and it does all the analysis about the impact it could have on the GDP and stuff like that. And again, it sends us the attachment. That's a little bit an overview of how to get started already with PandaAGI. Stay tuned because the next video is going to be about the knowledge and the skills to start customizing a lot your PandaAGI agent. Have a good one, and let's stay in touch. Bye.